Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Gary here, Jungle Heaven. Today I need to repot some seedlings that I have. I have some Indo-Porty, cross-Porty, cross-Fort Shermans, which as you can see inside here, there's many of them, and they're getting to the size now where they need to go into their own pots or shared pots but have some more space inside each one. I've got this one. This is Indo-Porty cross pterodactyl cross Papicross 1. So there's a mixture of seeds in here. So we'll have a look in the future how these progress. Now the pterodactyl was a variegation pterodactyl. I can't see any variegation on them at the moment, but maybe in the future they'll be a little bit more promising. And to be honest, the moss is growing so fast, growing faster than the seedlings. So we'll have a little repot of these. I've got these RVDP cross Ace of Spades cross Dresslerii. There is 3 good size seedlings in there, and there's a little baby one. I don't know if you can see that in now. So that one looks like it's the runt. And I've got 4 healthy Green Mamba hybrids cross Carla cross Ace of Spades. Again, they need to get into a little bigger pot. I'm sure the roots inside there they're getting a little bit crowded now, so maybe I'll put 2 of the seedlings into 2 different cups, like bigger size. Then I have these, which I got from the Bangkok Plant Show. Again, variegated. I seem to have lost the label, but I know it's around somewhere. So let me have a quick look. I think I know where it is actually. So yeah, I just found it. So this one is a crossbreed, another hybrid. So this is Red Velvet Cake 24, which is a pollen parent, and the seed parent is a Michelle 11 cross with a Red Velvet Cake 24. And again, this should be really beautiful red colouring on the new emergent leafing. So the first thing that I need to do is I need to separate the seeds from the moss, because I'm going to put these into an airy mix. This is like very light airy soil, and it's got some perlite in there. I'm going to add a lot more perlite in there because the mixture's probably in that. It's probably around 10% perlite to the soil, so I want to try and get that up to about 30-40% and then put them into these little pots. So what I'll do is I won't video the whole process of me taking all the seedlings out. What I'll do is I'll take the seeds out and I'll come back to you. I may show you a couple, but if you see like this, it's going to be a long, laborious video. And what I'll do is once I separate them, I will come back and get you back on camera and we can have a little look how they look. All right, so stay tuned. Okay, right, so what I've done is I've separated out the 3 smaller pots. So I have 10 little seedlings of 3 different varieties. I've mixed up the perlite with the soil. I think what I will do is I'm going to utilize these again and just fill them up with a little bit of soil. Tuck it down a little bit. And then I'll make one little hole in the middle. So these are the Red Velvet Cakes. So as I said, you can see they've got tiny little roots on them. So they need to be treated with the utmost care. And it's kind of very delicate to get these little babies in. And keep that leaf above the soil line. Just give it a gentle squeeze down. And what I don't want to do is oversaturate this, because there's no holes in the bottom of the pot. But what I do want to do is get them into the box behind me and give them the best chance possible. So there's lots of humidity in there. It's now currently 81% humidity at 29.6 degrees. So there we go. That's number one. Right, let's get number two in. I'll get these big rocks out of here. There's a couple in there. These stones. I mean, it's not going to really hurt them that much because it will give them more hair. And this is so nice, this mix. And let's go in here with this pen, make a nice little hole, and then get the second one. This little baby. So it's got a nice root, still got the remnants of the seed in there. And then, oh, it's a bit tricky, this one. Let's fill that in a little bit because I don't need such a deep hole. And again, like the first one, I'll just go around the edge, giving it a light tap down. Make sure the leaves are not touching the soil mix. Again, make it nice and compact. And these seedlings are very delicate, so I need to look after them and keep an eye on them for the first few weeks. Make sure I just spray a little bit of tiny little bit of fertilizer, very diluted fertilizer, so the roots can start growing. So that's those two there. So that's those four, or them two, sorry, that's those two. Anthurium Michel 11s crossed with Anthurium Red Velvet Cake, which is again the seed parent. The pollen parent is the Anthurium Red Velvet Cake 24. So hopefully these two are going to progress into something really, really nice. So the next one I want to do is the Anthurium Green Mamba crossed with Carla Ace of Spades. So like I showed you before, they're looking really good. I'll give them a little bit of a spray just to get a little bit of fluid into the system. Now let's find a vessel for these. Now I think this size is a good size, but I've got some clean ones which I will use, which is slightly bigger, or I can go with these little two. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll go with these two, and I'll put all four into these. So let's get a nice mix in there. Okay, just give it a little pat down, not too heavy. Make it nice and flat, because then it's easier making the holes. Right, so I want to put one here. You, my dear friend, this one's got quite a long root, so I need to go down a bit more. Okay, put that in like this. And what I'll do is I'll go around at the end after I put each one inside. Try and keep the leaves off the edge. Let's get another one here. And you can go in there, my dear friend. And it's better to use like something like a little pen, because what you can do is you can manage it easier than putting your big fat finger in. If you've got big fat fingers like me. And the reason why I'm putting these back in a shared pot is because one, to save space, and two, the roots are not excessively long at the moment, so I think they can still share a pot. So that's 3, and then the last one over here. This one needs to be a little wider, this hole, because there's more roots, or wider roots I should say. Right, that's just backfilled in with that perlite. Just try and get you in. There you go. Push you down just a little bit. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll stick the label on there just for now, but I'm going to write it on there also just in case this label blows up. Baby, yeah. Looks good, that little pot. Happy with that. Let's just give it a little drink on the side there. So I'll use the same size pot for the RVDPs, cross Ace of Spades and Dresslerii. Now this one has got a massive amount of fruit, so I may put that in its own little pot. This little one. But we'll see how we go. Let's try it in here first and just see. See if she'll do. Okay, so let's give it a little tap down. There's a little tiny new leaf coming on this one as well. So again, that's why I need to be careful and make sure that there's enough moisture, enough light and humidity in the pot, because I do not want to let these little babies go to waste. Get you out of there, put you in now. And these are really delicate. What I don't want to do is give it a little light pat down. This tiny little one, which, as I said before, the runt, maybe it'll survive, maybe it won't. It's a shame if it doesn't, but I'll do my best with it. As if you know me. And again, let's put the sticker on the side of there. So as you can see, everyone, this is how I'm going to be working with the rest of the plants today. And what I'll do is I'm going to give them a little spray, a light spray. So there's a little bit of very weak fertilizer in this. And what I want to do is not over soak the ground. I'll just give it a little bit today and I'll rewater it tomorrow. So the good thing about these as well is you can see how much water is actually in the pot, which isn't a lot to be honest, because this little soil mix soaks the water up like a sponge. You can see it sitting on there, but it seeps through slowly. So what I want to do is get these little seedlings into here. There's a nice Perlite inside, and let them kick on. And hopefully they'll do well. So guys, what I'm going to do, this is going to be the laborious one because there's many Anthurium inside of these pots. So I will give you an update after I've taken them all out and put them into the little seed trays. You don't want to sit here watching because it's exactly the same as I did with these, and then when they're ready and they're in the pots, I'll show you at the end of the video. So stay tuned. So as you can see, this is a very laborious project, and I'm probably about a third through of this first tray. It's very peculiar because you have some seeds that look like this. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. That look like it's just starting to sprout, but then you've got from the same batch big ones like this. So I don't think I'm going to bother saving the little ones because if they were going to grow, they would have grown by now. But let's have a look and see what we've got at the moment. So we've got tons, and like I say, I'm about a third of the way through. I've got these which are possibly good ones, and then I've got these little seeds here which are and then you've got some more like here, look, which have got a tiny little root. Maybe I'll just put them on top of, in a container, put some soil down, lay them on top and see what happens, give them 100% humidity again, give them another chance. But you know, at the end of the day, it's one of them where you just think, well, how much time and effort do you want to invest into looking after these seedlings? So let's crack on. And then I'll show you what I'm doing here. So basically all I'm doing is I'm just putting my hand in and gently prising all of this moss apart, and then whatever comes away in my hand I will just pull out. And as you can see, you're getting little plants coming out with that. Not much on this one actually. Typical, I say that and that happens. So again, we've got a duff-ish one. And got an okay one. It's a bit of a nightmare doing this because green on green, the eyes start playing tricks on you. So I lay these in here and give them a little drink and just run a little bit of a spray on top like this. So let's just gently tease some more away. Oh, that one come off nice and easy. That's what we want. Okay guys, that was a bit of a laborious task, but I've managed to do the first box. So I've got lots and lots of seedlings out ready. I've got some big variegation. I've got some kind of large variations in size you know, I've got from this to this size, which is probably 4 times the size of this one here, and even some that are smaller than that. So I don't know whether I'm going to keep all of the small ones, because if they haven't grown, I think these were sown around about April time, May maybe. So if they've not come on that fast and that far, then maybe they're just the runts and I'm gonna just kind of get rid of them. I'll decide as I go along. In relation to potting up, I think I'm gonna go with these food trays as opposed to the separate seedling trays, because I think basically they'll be easier to keep an eye on, because the seedling trays have got little holes in the bottom, so they're going to need more water. But these ones, if I water, it kind of keep a little bit of the moisture in the bottom, so it'll keep the soil from drying out quicker than they would now. But let's see. Right, okay, so I've given all of these a little spray with water and some fertilizer, and they've had a good drink now, so when they go into the new pot, and let's have a look. Yeah, I think these will be the way forward. Right, so I've got my box, and what I'll do is I'll just scoop a little bit in there first, build up a nice layer, and again just level it out. I'll take my glasses off now because the sun's here and it's shining bright on the building over there. That's why I'm wearing the sunglasses, because I'm facing the sunlight. But let's get into action, Gary. I probably want to go about 3 across, maybe 4 across. I don't like these big stones in here. Just got quite a wide root ball on it. So again, just backfilling nice and gently, not tucking any leaves into the soil itself. Another big one. Okay, a little bit of water. So there we have it, first tray with 9 little beautiful seedlings inside. I don't want to cramp the boxes too much with the plants inside, because I want them to stay in here probably for another maybe 6 to 8 weeks, get them into another 2-3 leaves, get the leaf size bigger, and then pot on into individual pots. So I know it's more work, but this way it's easier to keep an eye on them. So all I've got to do now is just label up this and come back, and I'll show you how they all look. Thank you. Good afternoon, guys. This is just to add on to the repotting of the Anthurium seedlings that I did previously, and this is a 2-week update now on how the seedlings are looking. I want to give you a little quick tour of how they look, how many seedlings have survived, if any, how many have died, if any. But first of all, I still have not got around to doing the Indo-Porty cross Fort Shermans yet, but I plan to do these this week. And if you want to see this in a separate video, please leave your comments below. But these are doing quite well. The leaves are getting quite big, especially this one in here, as you can see. So yeah, there's probably around about 60-70 plants in here, but they're just living on fully open now, so they're fully acclimatized to the Thai weather. We're now coming into dry season, and that will mean less humidity. So I've got my new bottle here, which I currently just come around here, give all of these babies a little watering, give them a good soaking, keep them going, etc, etc. And as you can see, we've got some lovely plants on show here from Anthurium red spiders. This one is a Zara Cross Michelle, Goeldii variegata. This one's a Dark Phoenix. I've got many, but digressing slightly. So the other thing that I want to show you is, I said I didn't know if I was going to keep the little babies or not. Now I did just chuck them all back into this pot. And as you can see, they're doing well. And I keep the lid on loosely. And as you can see, condensation's in the box. So the humidity's doing its thing. So I'll probably rescue about another 25-30 plants out of this batch in a couple of weeks. If the little baby ones don't come out with the leaves, then they're just going in the dustbin. But I'm going to try and rescue what I can out of this. So as I said, humidity on, so the box just sits, or the lid just sits on nice and loose. So this is the jungle box. Many of you have seen it in previous videos. This is the current time and the temperature, the humidity, perfect for Anthurium. So let's go in and have a look at how these other seedlings are doing. Let's just pick out a couple of boxes. So this is basically one of the first batch. As I said, it's 2 weeks on. The leaves are now starting to grow really big, or a lot bigger than they were. And these other little ones in these separate pots, as you can see, they're not growing quite as quick, but they're still looking really healthy. This pot's a little bit dry actually, so I need to get on top of that. But yeah, I'm really happy with the progress of everything that's happening in here. Let's get these out of the way. But this is one of the biggest ones I have now. This is the Green Mamba hybrid, cross Carla, cross Ace of Spades. As you can see, this one is looking pretty damn good. This was the little runt, and it's now looking a little bit sick, but I've got to give these a little top up of water now. I'm not sure I can see any roots coming out the bottom. Nope. Let's just pick you another one. So I've had no casualties, no dying. Little seedlings, they're all looking good. And this one here is looking a little different. This has nice crinkled edges on the edge of the leaf. So this one's going to look a little bit special, I think, when it comes out. But yeah, I'm really happy with everything, the way everything's going. There's another little one here, as you can see. This one here, tiny little leaf, still looks green, still looks well. Bigger one here, but yeah, fabulous. So altogether I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 in the jungle box. All doing good, no deaths, no casualties so far. I also did end up using the little seedling trays, as you will see in this box. These were for the slightly smaller ones. So this is all the same batch. So these were the smallest plants, apart from the ones I've just shown you. These are doing pretty well. I have a fair number of them inside. These were just empty, these, so don't worry, nothing died in here. So you've just got the ones with the green leaves, etc. here. So that's it for this video. If you'd like to see more videos, please leave your comments down below. So please just don't forget, subscribe, like, hit that comment and share it with your other planty friends. But this is Gary here at Jungle Heaven. Wish you a very good day wherever you are in the world.